In this recording, I wanted to talk about the spiritual elements of gang stalking. And also want to talk about something that a gang stalker had told me just yesterday. I have a video of the interaction I had with this gang stalker, but it's a long video and I can't post videos that are incredibly long because I didn't go through the verification process that YouTube requires in order to post videos that are longer than 15 minutes. What I'll probably end up doing is just summing up, the video for you guys so that you'll know what was said. So the video basically shows the conversation I had with a gang stalker who was claiming to be a targeted individual like us. And first off, I don't believe he was a targeted individual. I mean, not even for a second. I mean, this guy was a gang stalker. It's that simple. But I will try to sort of break down what happened for you guys in another video. So this video is going to focus on spirituality. I really want you guys to understand what exactly is happening. But I am going to talk about something that the gang stalker told me when we were talking about the people out here and their motivations. So first, I want to say that as a person who believes in God and accepts the Bible as the truth, as a person who does that, like, I want you guys to understand that, like, it is important for you to understand spiritually what exactly is happening around you, and the attitude of the people too. Like, the gang stalker, what he basically told me was that the people here are members of some sort of Christian cult or something like that. That's what he suggested. He said that this is some sort of Christian cult or something. Okay, so I want to talk about what Jesus said about this sort of thing. So I think that basically what he was saying is that the gang stalkers are under the impression that they're instruments of God or something, and that they're like bestowing his wrath upon helpless people. I mean, I think that's what he was saying. I don't really know. I mean, he was all over the place. Like I said, it's going to take a whole entire video to talk about what this guy was talking about. Okay, so if he's an instrument of God. Now, first off, let me tell you that God does discipline people. I know that because I know the Bible. So yes, it is true. I want to go ahead and put that out there. So God disciplines people. What he calls it is chastising. That means that if you're his person, he can discipline you. So let me just go ahead and put that out there, because I'm guessing that they have taken that and ran with it, and now they feel like they're his hands or his fingers or whatever. Okay, so let's put that out there. So yes, that's true. So how do we know? The question now is, how do we know whether these people are God's instruments and they are destroying us in his name, and it was like, God wanted them to do it and they have his approval to come after us? So if you believe in the Bible, then you have to accept that Jesus is Lord. If you accept Jesus as Lord, then his commandments are law, his words are law. So I have accepted that Jesus is the moral leader of me. So, like, he tells us what we can do and what we can't do. So, like, he tells us what we can do. He tells us how we're supposed to behave, how we're supposed to think, how we're supposed to feel. He's our leader. So I think that before Jesus died, he gave us all the information we need in order to know how to behave. And so in the Bible, there was a prostitute, and this prostitute was a whore, obviously. So the people, because she was in sin, decided they were going to stone her because she was in sin. I think she slept with a married man or something like that. She slept with a married man. She was in sin. She was in sin. And the people were like, she's a sinner, let's punish her, basically. So in a manner of speaking, they were basically suggesting that they were God's instruments of justice or something against this sinner, this whore, because she was sinning and she was going to go to hell or whatever. Okay, so Jesus approached these people, and they were like, Jesus, this woman is a whore. She's evil. You know, she's doing all these bad things. So Jesus basically said, okay, so he who is without sin could cast the first stone. Now I want to stop there. Okay? So if you think about what Jesus was saying, you will understand why whatever claim they make to be instruments of God falls short. Okay, think about it. So Jesus is telling the people that they don't have any right to judge her for her sin, is what he's saying. Like, he's saying, well, if you're going to judge her for her sin, then who's judging you for yours? Okay, so what he's suggesting is that man cannot play the role of God. They're not God. Like, God basically was like, I can deal with people. And when he deals with people, when he chastises them, he's not really using other people to do it. Like, he's not saying you should go out and hurt people because this person did this or did that. Like, he's not saying that. He basically says vengeance is his. He's going to be the person who repays, and he's going to be the person who chastises. Now, what that means, basically what that means is that spiritually, you're going to be in a bad place spiritually. And it's not going to be like a gang stalker is going to rob and kill you or something like that. They're twisting biblical teachings. They're twisting it. Now, I want to also apologize to you guys. I am not supposed to be a teacher or anything because I'm not qualified for it. I'm doing this out of frustration because we don't have anybody who can do this. So I want to just make it clear that I'm not trying to be like, be something that I'm not qualified to be. I'm not qualified to be a teacher because, like, it's the Bible's I can't be like a representative of God in that way because, the qualifications. And one of you pointed that out on my channel, and you're 100% right. Like, you gotta, if at some point, hopefully, if I'm just not ever doing anything wrong, like I have no bad language or nothing, and everything is clean and clear, and then I can do it, then I can take that role on. But I'm not qualified for it, so I wanted to put that out there first. Well, I wanted to go ahead and just remind you of that, so I'm not gonna I don't want to overstep, is what I'm saying. But I mean, I have to try to put this stuff out there because these people are twisting biblical teachings. They're twisting it. Like, they're using it for evil. They're using it for evil, in my opinion. Like, now they're starting to hurt people again, and they're blaming God for it. And we've been down this road before. Okay, so Jesus is very clear when he says that. So basically, when he says that your people, we cannot play the role of God. That's why you cannot retaliate against the gang stalkers. It's messed up as it is. That's why I tell you, as much as these people might have it coming and deserve it, if you believe in God, you don't have the right to punish them for their evil. Like, you can't chastise, punish, or do anything to them because you're not God. So I wanted to make that clear. So basically, Jesus went. So nobody threw the stones. When Jesus said what he said, nobody threw the stones because they understood. So Jesus goes up to the woman and he says, okay, just don't sin anymore. And he left her in peace. Like, he didn't harm her. He didn't do anything bad to her. He didn't hurt her. He didn't do anything. He was just like, okay, look, just don't sin anymore. So his approach was gentle and loving. His approach was gentle and loving. Not toxic. He was like, I'm an evil gang stalker. He murders her horse, he kicks her in the head. You see, these people are wicked and they're twisting biblical teachings, twisting it for some evil, wicked purpose. And they develop these cults, and these cults blindly believe them. Like, You know, they hurt people. This is the moment they started hurting people. It was the moment you should know. Okay, like this has happened with the Bible so many times before. So basically, if you're a Christian, you have to be like more loving and stuff, even to people who are sinning. Like these people, they claim to be of God, but they don't have any of God in them. Like they just make these claims, like they grew up in the church, and God isn't with these people. Well, I mean, He might be. I don't know. I don't want to, say. I don't want to tell you where they are spiritually. I don't have that right. But I'm just saying, like, their behavior. That's why I don't retaliate against gang stalkers. No matter how evil they are, I don't retaliate. I'm not trying to do anything really horrible to them to hurt them. The thing I'm guilty of is kind of judging them a little bit. But I think that's kind of understandable. Okay, like you would understand why, if a person did all this stuff and they were escaping justice all the time, how that would just have you triggered. Like, they do these horrible things and they're above the law, and I'm just dealing with all this corruption, and they escape justice every single time. Like, I cannot get justice, and it frustrates me. So I start lashing out at them because I'm sick of these people perverting the Bible and escaping justice. They pervert the Bible and they escape justice, and it just is aggravating me. I'm going to actually make a separate video that just talks about how difficult dealing with these people actually is. I mean, it is so difficult for us. It's like the most difficult thing we can deal with, and it's constant, and it's driving us spiritually. It's just driving us into a dark place. But I wanted to just talk about that so that people understand why these people are in the wrong, regardless of what they say about their belief system. I was like, of course they're in the wrong. The Bible teaches that these people are in the wrong. So whatever fake Christian cult they're a part of, that's not a cult of God. God doesn't do that. God is a God of peace. He's not a God of gang stalking. That's why I said that gang stalking, under no circumstances could something that toxic be attributed to God's good works, okay? Under no circumstances, no matter what these cult people tell you, no matter how they try to twist biblical teachings, okay, God works through the spiritual realm. God works through the spiritual realm, and He doesn't work through people like that. This is not the Old Testament. He doesn't get people to do His bidding. They're thinking Old Testament. I was like, the Old Testament is irrelevant. We're under grace of Jesus Christ. We follow Jesus Christ's teachings. What they're doing is they're trying to assert Old Testament and then in order to contradict what Jesus said. So they're saying, well, it doesn't matter what Jesus said because the Old Testament said this, and God used people in the Old Testament to do bad things. And so they're going back to that. And basically there's a new law, and it's Jesus Christ's law. That's why I was like, the only law you need to be worried about is the one of Christ. And He basically told everybody what they needed to do and how they need to do it. With that said, let me go ahead and close.